I the a-hole for not wanting to house my pregnant sister anymore? I am absolutely furious about this right now. My sister is 19, and she's 4 months pregnant. Father bailed and kicked her out of his place as soon as she told him, and my parents live on the other side of the country. She goes to school here in our state, so she doesn't want to move back to our tiny little town. Since she didn't have a place to stay, my wife and I offered to let her live with us until after the baby got here. It wasn't ideal, but we have the room and the money to let it happen. First thing I told my sister when she came here, whatever you need, tell me and I'll help you. First thing I told her because I didn't want her worrying about things for the baby or food. We still have all our baby furniture, /toys, /clothes from when our son was born in our garage and in good condition. It's barely been over 2 months, and on the first week, my wife was complaining because she couldn't find her earrings. Didn't think anything of it. Stuff like that is easy to lose sometimes. But then, it started to add up. First, her earrings, then one of my watches, a necklace, a pair of new shoes that we bought for our son, some of my wife's jewelry, my class ring. All this stuff was going missing, and it didn't click for me until I noted a few missing $20 bills from my wallet. At first, I thought maybe it was my son, but honestly, the kid's 7 and still too honest. He cried once after he took an extra donut from the table and confessed immediately, so I doubted he was the culprit. I confronted my sister, and it took a lot of grilling before she fessed up. Her defense was she just wanted to make a little extra cash on the side for the baby. I was so furious with her. After telling her to come to me for anything she needs with the baby, she resorted to going behind my back and stealing from my family? I explained just how wrong she was to do this after she's had a roof over her head, food, and being told to come to us with whatever she needs help with. She apologized many times, but I told her she was going to have to pack her bags and leave. I'll give her 2 weeks to find a new place, but she better be gone by then. That just upset my sister more. She begged me to give her a second chance, but feel like the trust has been broken. She wanted to stay here to continue school. She'll have to find a way to support herself. If she can't, then she can move back with our parents. Speaking of parents, they've been on top of me for the last few days over this, that I can't just kick her out when she has a child on the way. I've explained what she was doing. However, they still think I'm wrong here and need to give her another chance. The issue is how will we know that she won't be more sneaky about it? It's just not a risk I'm willing to take, and my wife is just as upset about this as I am. That hasn't stopped my parents from berating me all the time over our choice, and now I'm not sure I'm being the a-hole instead of giving her another chance. Now for the top comments. Definitely not the a-hole. She stole multiple times from you and your wife. That means she has already had a second chance and a third chance, etc. to redeem herself. I would not want a thief in my house. She can go live with your parents and steal from them if they feel so strongly about it. I'm so sick of people asking for second chances after they've already wasted more than 2 chances. One of my favorite lines I've discovered on Reddit is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I feel it fits well here. Yep, she played the how much can I steal before they notice game and won a swift kick in the pants out of there. Seems fair to me. I mean, it sucks she's pregnant, but that should have been her concern when she chose to steal, not Opie's concern when he needs to protect his wife and child. Not an a-hole. She's lucky you haven't reported her to the police. Her parents are also a-holes by trying to guilt you into continuing to house her. I assume this is because they don't want to take responsibility for her themselves. They do. It's my sister that doesn't want to move all the way back over there because she's still going to school here. Not an a-hole. I have a feeling being pregnant isn't the only reason the boyfriend kicked her out. It may very well have simply been the last straw. I wonder what her story will be of how she came to leave your home. The thefts are only what you have discovered so far. What else is missing that you haven't discovered yet? Things in storage? That kitchen gadget you never use? Art? You need to lock your credit down. If she had access to your files, social security number, DL, BC, and such, I would not be surprised that she has opened credit cards in yours, or your wife's, or your son's name. Do you have any accounts in your son's name? Savings bonds? Education fund, check them. Are they intact? And since your parents are so determined that a thief to be housed on someone else's dime, buy her a one-way ticket to their place and ship her belongings. It will be cheaper in the long run. Lock down anything of value. You've now given her 14 days to ransack your place. Any way at all for you to get any of your things back? Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend to grow up? Me, 23 male, and my girlfriend, 27 female, have been together for about 5 years, and 3 years into the relationship, we had a child. For context, he wasn't a planned child by any means, as we had taken birth control measures. Early on, I wore protection, and then she started taking birth control. Neither of us know how the child happened, but we accepted that it happened and moved on. I finished up the last little bit of college I had and found a job before the baby arrived. She stopped working as my income was now enough, and now stays home with the baby, as we discussed that was what would be best. In the following year, since the birth of my son, my girlfriend has grown increasingly more intolerant. At first, she was elated, wanted to show him off, and was happy to deal with everything. Then it grew to her being annoyed by small things. She wanted me to change every diaper. We split them once I'm home and during off days, and was annoyed by everything our son did. Flash forward to now, and contrary to the saying terrible twos, he tends to be very well behaved. He doesn't cry that much, he adapted to potty training quickly and well, and he doesn't really fuzz. My girlfriend has been going out a lot. I don't have a problem with it because everyone needs time to have fun and relax. This night was a night she went out. A few nights ago, my son came to my side of the bed. He woke me up and told me that he peed in his sleep. I told him it was okay. I woke up my girlfriend and told her and asked her to clean him up quickly while I went and cleaned it. She took a minute to wake up, so I went ahead and left to go clean it up. In the middle of it, I heard her screaming at our son. I go in there and ask her why she's screaming at him, and she responds that it's because he peed the bed. I told her his too, and that accidents happen. This shouldn't be a moment to scold him and scream. She said that since I could be better, I should do it. So I helped him get cleaned up, and then cleaned up in his room, and by that time he fell asleep on the couch. I covered him up and went back to my room. When I got back is when the argument started. I told her that I shouldn't have to handle that alone because she can't control her anger. She told me that since I was such a good parent, I should quit my job and stay at home, and she should go work since she's so horrible. She went on with this for about 5 minutes, before telling me she regrets having our son. A little shocked, I told her she didn't have a way of finding a job capable of supporting us, and that she proposed the idea of her staying home when he was born. I told her she needed to grow up, because the way she was acting will be something he remembers. Ever since, we've barely spoke, and now I'm wondering if I took it too far. I think rather than posting on Reddit about this one argument, you need to see the bigger picture. Your girlfriend is struggling, and clearly not coping well as a stay-at-home mom. You too need to figure this out. Perhaps she needs some therapy to work through her anger towards her son. Could well be postpartum depression. Perhaps you two need to find a way for her to return to work. This is much bigger than one late-night argument, and it needs resolving ASAP. All of this, I immediately thought of PPD. This woman is struggling and needs help ASAP. Not just her, the kid needs help too. If this is what she does when dad around, imagine how she's acting when home alone with him. Not the a-hole, but I think there may be different things involved. Your girlfriend may be regretting the lost years of being pregnant, plus having a child. Perhaps she wants to pursue a career. Can you afford to send your kid to a daycare center if she looks for a job? Maybe she's looking to find her identity and not just as a mother. It may be a bunch of things. I'd suggest talking about it, about what you both want, what you're both able to do given the circumstances, and what things you both need to negotiate / give up because you both decided to have a child. And I know it's a moot comment, but congrats on being pretty grounded and growing up so quickly. Not every guy I know would have reacted like you did. Even a part-time job and Mother's Day out. She needs a break and counseling stat. Even if she'd agree to family counseling, that would be a huge improvement. She's drowning. Please give her a lifeline. PPD can appear up to 2 years after the birth of a child. I don't think this is a Nahal question. I think that your girlfriend needs a doctor. She's literally saying the trademark PPD spiel right now, especially if she was excited to be a mother before now. I think you need to prioritize getting her to a doctor. Treat this seriously, and it's an urgent condition that needs attention right away. Take a sick leave from work if you have to, and consider finding alternate care for your son until you can get her into her GP. We explored postpartum depression when she began getting annoyed at small things. Doctor said the past 1 year, it's extremely rare for it to be postpartum, and she didn't believe it was postpartum additionally, because the only real symptom she showed was getting annoyed at our son. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for saying that being a mother will not be my identity? A little background. I'm 25 female, 7 months pregnant with me and my boyfriend's first child. My boyfriend, 28 male, and I got pregnant pretty quick after getting together, 2 months, so everything for us moved really quickly. My problem lies with our living situation. I grew up in a city, as did he. We moved a little outside of it when I found out I was pregnant, so we could save a little better and prepare. We went to visit our friends one day, 2 hours outside of the city, and wouldn't you know it, his car broke down. So we ended up staying with the said friends, and ultimately moving in with them as I would provide childcare for friend's kid in turn for rent. I was under the impression we would be moving back, because that's what I was told from the start. Today, I'm back in the city and living with my mom because the pressure of constantly needing to socialize with roommates got too much for me. There are other issues there. Friends always fighting with her husband. Friend is always blaming my boyfriend for everything that goes wrong. Just a toxic environment I didn't want to be part of. Boyfriend started talking about apartments up there, but I said I didn't want to stay living there. He said he didn't want to move back to the city. I said there aren't many opportunities for me job-wise up there, and he told me it's okay. He can provide for our family and I can be a stay-at-home mom. This kind of took me by surprise. I told him I can't not work. I'd go insane. I told him I wanted a career and I wanted our son to grow up with every opportunity, including the diversity of the city. He said it's okay, I just need to focus on being a mom. I told him being a mom isn't going to be my identity, and I still have my own life outside of the family, as does he. He got so mad. He ignored me for 2 weeks without returning my texts or phone calls. I haven't seen him for a month now, and is acting like I'm a terrible person for even considering that. Am I the a-hole here? I feel like it shouldn't be my job to be the only parent, but he's my first kid, so I'm not sure if I'm overreacting or being a bad mom. This whole situation has made me feel like I shouldn't have gone along with the pregnancy because my feelings and desires became bottom of the list. Now for the top comments. Red flags galore, girl. He is expecting your identity to disappear within your family and not returning your calls or texts for 2 weeks. At this point, you'd be better off a single parent in the city. Not the a-hole. Agreed, not the a-hole. If he ignores you for 2 weeks, that should be enough of a sign. Had my last ex ignored me for 3. Thankfully, he replied when I told her I wanted my stuff back. I got it and blocked her on everything. Also, it's not just ignoring his girlfriend for 2 weeks. It's ignoring his 7 months pregnant girlfriend for 2 weeks. That's just ridiculous. What if she had issues, or appointment changes, or, well, anything? I think you know you're not the a-hole. I think you also know that this relationship is not going well. Ignoring your very pregnant girlfriend for 2 weeks is a red flag, as is insisting on you being a stay-at-home mom. How long can you stay with your mom? Because honestly, I think you need to prepare for the possibility that you are doing the single. Work on looking for a job and finding a place for you and the baby to live in the city. Hopefully, he comes around and can, at the very least, co-parent like an adult. Also, the decision-making of having your car break down somewhere so then you just live there? I know it's not the biggest issue here, but isn't that a little odd? Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for calling my wife irresponsible? My wife, 25 female and I, 26 male, have a baby girl that just turned 2, who we'll call Zoe. My wife loves cosmetics. She'll practice a lot and says she's even thinking about starting a makeup artist business. However, she lately has been wanting to practice makeup on Zoe, which I was cautious about but didn't mind as long as it wasn't a full face, nor could she do it every day. She agreed to that. The next day, I heard Z whimpering in her room, so I decided to check on her, and I saw that her skin was terrible. She had a really bad rash and blistering in her face. Her left eye was swollen. Her skin was very irritated, and she kept scratching, making it more irritated. I quickly got us both dressed and rushed to the doctor's office, and it ended up being contact dermatitis. 1 hour after the appointment, my wife came home excited, saying she can't wait to do another makeover on Zoe, and that she bought new products for her to try. I confronted her and demanded that she tells me what did she put on Zoe's face. She admits to me that it was a full face of makeup while I was at work, and that they even went out to the park so others can see her talent. I called her crazy and irresponsible because now our daughter has contact dermatitis, and that she broke our agreement. She got upset with me, calling her irresponsible, and lashed out at me, saying she was only trying to make her look pretty, and that she wanted Zoe to have a passion for makeup like she does, since she doesn't even pay attention to it. So now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for calling my wife irresponsible? Not the a-hole. Your daughter is not a doll. Calling your wife irresponsible is an insult to responsible people. Jesus Christ. I have 3 kids who love makeup, / dress up, / nail stuff. The most I usually put on them, youngest is 4, is some blush, eyeshadow and lipstick, not even once a month. A couple times I've let the almost 8-year-old use mascara because she felt left out not getting shadow / blush because of her sensitive skin. We are very careful taking it off to avoid her eyes. A full face of makeup on a 2-year-old? What the hell is wrong with her? My mom let me play with it infrequently at best, until I was old enough to understand what I wanted. This is a whole other nightmare. Not the a-hole. I'm a makeup artist, and I was taught to never, ever put makeup on children, especially babies. For that reason specifically, and because baby skin is still so new and sensitive, and you're damaging it by putting unnecessary products on it that were never meant for babies or even toddlers. Your baby cannot say no, and your baby cannot fight back against your wife. And your wife is treating your baby like a mannequin that should be decorated and showed off. This is not okay, and it needs to stop. I'd also like to add that it's incredibly messed up that her reason was to make her look pretty. Like there's just so much wrong. Not the a-hole. A 2-year-old should not be dealing with makeup like that at all. Why does a toddler have to look pretty? They're toddlers. Your wife is hurting your kid and is also imparting bad lessons onto her. This has to stop before she causes serious damage, physical and mental. She needs a wake-up call, fast. If she wants to be an artist on your kid's face, have her learn how to face paint. With the correct products, toddlers love sparkles and rainbows anyway. But otherwise, she can get a model head and practice on that. Edited to add. Also, your daughter doesn't like the way it feels, and it's hurting. So, your wife is pretty much guaranteeing that her child will hate makeup of all kinds if she keeps this up.